Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Gwendolyn, and welcome to our next daily pages in A Course in Miracles. This is an early session, and I have been thinking about sharing with you some of my background so you understand how I approach the Course in Miracles. So I wanted to mention a few things before I begin the actual reading of the pages. I wanted to mention that I personally have I had over 20 years of meditation experience before I stumbled upon A Course in Miracles. And meditation was important then and is important now. I practice to this day. For me, it is I needed a surefire way to connect with God, and meditation proved to be that way. For all of its other benefits, that is for me the most important thing. And the practice taught me a great deal. I learned about Eastern spirituality, the thoughts, the practices, the tools, the philosophy, the principles, all very, very important, very enlightening, very good. And I had and I have a wonderful teacher, the same teacher for these many, many years. I'm very grateful to him, very grateful to my community of fellow practitioners, very grateful for everything about meditation. I stumbled upon A Course in Miracles, and it answered questions I didn't even know I had, questions of understanding how things work and how to navigate and how to understand myself as a spiritual being. I wasn't seeking anything more different. I made a few notes. But this strange sequence of events took me to A Course in Miracles. I opened the book and I found there a treasure. I was astonished. It became precious to me. It became full of wonder, and it is to this day. But I want to tell you that at the beginning, I had trouble. I have it to this day. I have trouble with some of the declarations. The voice is said to be the voice of Yeshua, of Jesus. It's said to be a direct transmission to this woman, Helen Sukman, and she wrote it down. And as I read it, it does feel definitely as though there's a voice, a very wise voice, a very smart voice, and a voice that speaks to me. But I had trouble to begin with. In the next sessions, in this session too, I believe, we will encounter phrases in the text that are I phrases, I this, I that, I'm in charge, I am this, I am that. And I had a kind of allergy to that. I didn't understand this I. But as I say, I've read it. I had read it 11 times. Reading it to you now is my 12th time. And I understand it more and more, and I'm more comfortable with it. The declarations are doorways of understanding. And I want to invite you to consider it that way. I was put off, but I said, the book says just if something irritates you or troubles you, it's okay. Let it irritate you. Let it trouble you. Be aware of that. But continue. Just keep going. Just keep going because there's more. And just keep going. So I want to encourage you to do that as well. I want to encourage you to listen, notice maybe your annoyance, maybe your discomfort, maybe your displeasure, but just keep going. So I am going to begin today. Yesterday, the last time we met, I read through the 50 principles of miracles. There were quite a few of them, of course. And today I want to continue. That was the first section of chapter 1. Now we're moving on to the second section, which I'll do today. And thanks for letting me make a commentary. Every now and again, I'll have something to say. Not much, but a little something. So we're going to begin now with this. Here we go. And this is still chapter 1, the meaning of miracles, but we're on section 2, revelation, time, and miracles. Let's see what happens next. I can get this to, there we go. So I'm going to read Revelation, Time, and Miracles. Revelation induces complete but temporary suspension of doubt and fear. It reflects the original form of communication between God and his creations, involving the extremely personal sense of creation sometimes sought in physical relationships. Physical closeness cannot achieve it, and yet it's sought. Miracles, however, are genuinely interpersonal and result in true closeness to others. Revelation unites you directly with God. Miracles unite you directly with your brother. Neither emanates from consciousness, but both are experienced there. Consciousness is the state that induces action, though it does not inspire it. You are free to believe what you choose, and what you do attests to what you believe. Revelation is intensely personal and cannot be meaningfully translated. That is why any attempt to describe it in words is impossible. Revelation induces only experience. Miracles, on the other hand, induce action. They are more useful now because of their interpersonal nature. In this phase of learning, working miracles is important because freedom from fear cannot be thrust upon you. Revelation is literally unspeakable because it is an experience of unspeakable love. Awe should be reserved for revelation, to which it is perfectly and correctly applicable. It is not appropriate for miracles because a state of awe is worshipful, implying that one of a lesser order stands before his creator. You are a perfect creation and should experience awe only in the presence of the creator of perfection. The miracle is therefore a sign of love among equals. Equals should not be in awe of one another because awe implies inequality. It is therefore an inappropriate reaction to me. This is meaning Yeshua. An elder brother is entitled to respect for his greater experience and obedience for his greater wisdom. That one I stumbled on. Obedience, indeed. But at any rate, I liked much of what else he said. He is also, meaning your elder brother, Yeshua, he is also entitled to love because he is a brother, and to devotion if he is devout. It is only my devotion that entitles me to yours. It is only my devotion that entitles me to yours. There is nothing about me that you cannot attain. I have nothing that does not come from God. The difference between us now is that I have nothing else. This leaves me in a state which is only potential in you. Quote, "No man cometh unto the Father but by me," does not mean that I am in any way separate or different from you, except in time, and time does not really exist. The statement is more meaningful in terms of a vertical rather than a horizontal axis, a vertical axis rather than horizontal. You stand below me, and I stand below God. In the process of rising up, I am higher because without me, the distance between God and man would be too great for you to encompass. I bridge the distance as an elder brother to you on the one hand, and as a son of God on the other. My devotion to my brothers has placed me in charge of the sonship, which I render complete because I share it. This may appear to contradict the statement, I and my Father are one, but there are two parts to the statement in recognition that the Father is greater. Revelations are indirectly inspired by me because I am close to the Holy Spirit and alert to the revelation readiness. I'll say it again, an alert to the revelation readiness of my brothers. I can thus bring down to them more than they can draw down to themselves. The Holy Spirit mediates higher to lower communication, keeping the direct channel from God to you open for revelation. Revelation is not reciprocal. It proceeds from God to you and not from you to God. The miracle minimizes the need for time. In the longitudinal or horizontal plane, the recognition of the equality of the members of the sonship appears to involve almost endless time. However, the miracle entails a sudden shift from the horizontal to the vertical. And there's more. From horizontal, let me read that again, okay? However, the miracle entails a sudden shift from horizontal to vertical perception. Pardon me. This introduces an interval from which the giver and receiver both emerge farther along in time than they would otherwise have been. The miracle thus has the unique property of abolishing time to the extent that it renders the interval of time it spans unnecessary. There is no relationship between the time a miracle takes and the time it covers. The miracle substitutes for learning that might have taken thousands of years. It does so by the underlying recognition of perfect equality of giver and receiver, on which the miracle rests. The miracle shortens time by collapsing it, thus eliminating certain intervals within it. It does this, however, within the larger temporal sequence. I know that sounds, to some ears, rather complex. It is simply statements right now. All of this, all of the kind of subtlety, or if you want, the obscurity of what these things mean are explained in the remaining pages of the text. This is a daunting section. I agree. Don't let it put you off. Listen to it again if you wish, but it will be revealed. And the notion, I want to say, the notion of Yeshua as my brother is also a kind of equality that he's setting up, that we are all members of the sonship. We are all sons of God, children of God. So I better not try to explain this, because believe me, it's good enough for it to reside in my mind as, yeah, I get it, but I'm in no position to teach this. So let me give you the quote today. I want to, this we read, and I just want to say it again. The miracle substitutes for learning that might have taken thousands of years. It does so by the underlying recognition of perfect equality of the giver and receiver on which the miracle rests. And there's something else I want to read to you that I probably should have pulled out as a primary quote. And this I wrote. I'll switch over to our full screen just a second. Let's see, stop share. Here we go. There we go. And this, I have to get the light on this just right. I'll do it like that. It's this one right here in red. And I wrote this, I mean, this was in the first few days. No, it's this one here in black. And Yeshua says, there is nothing about me that you cannot attain. I have nothing that does not come from God. The difference between us now is that I have nothing else. And for me, that really captured not just the relationship, but also the wish, the vision in my heart about what this is all about and where, and why it's important to me, where I want to, in a sense, travel. So that's it for today. I want to thank you very much for joining me. I hope you come back for the next session, and I hope this is useful to you. It's a great joy to share it. Thank you. See you again.